All right, and we are ready to open the meeting, Chairman.
Thank you. Oh, I welcome everybody. Can we just start with the pledge? I have a flag here, so we can, if you would please, pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
which stands
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, everybody. Okay, we'll start off with the reading of the minutes. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Yes,
Any additions or corrections?
Make a
None.
motion to accept.
If there is any, I'll ask for a motion to accept them.
Bill made a
moved.
motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, motion passed. All right, tonight we have 15 Central Avenue. Alex, did you read what he's the permit?
The public notice.
Yes.
All right, notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held before the sign review board of the Village of Colony with respect to the following matter at the time set place forth below. Thursday, January 28th, 2021, 6:30 p.m. via Zoom teleconference and live streamed on the official Village of Colony YouTube. The applicant is $99 income tax services at 1500 Central Avenue, Albany, New York, 12205. A sign permit application was received for $99 income tax services located at the above mentioned address for one monument sign with overall square footage of 20 square feet and a 20.6 foot setback from the curb line to Central Avenue. The application for the above mentioned property has been denied due to the following conditions. Section 181-11B location. No sign shall be located closer than 25 feet to the street curb line of the property which is erected. Section 181, Attachment 1, Chart A. Only one wall sign shall be permitted above the primary entrance per tenant and shall not exceed 32 square feet with a minimum overall height of 6 feet above surrounding ground level. Section 181-8A1A, from 1 foot to 50 feet, the street line that shall be considered to be the front line of the subject parcel will be granted a permit for one sign to be attached to the building. All persons affected by the proposed variance will be given an opportunity to be heard. Dated January 15, 2021. And for the record, Chairman, I've received no correspondence regarding this.
Thank you. Is the applicant present?
They have to unmute themselves.
Theo, are you on this call?
I see James, he's talking, but he's not. There we
Oh,
go.
am I unmuted now?
You're unmuted.
okay.
Okay, good. I'm James from Fast Signs right here in the village, and I'm representing $99.
So go ahead and present your
Go ahead.
case, James.
Okay. So this is a tenant who is in the building and his space is on the back side of the building, accessible only by the back side. And he has no visibility on Central Ave, and that's critical to his success. And so we're asking for a freestanding post and panel sign, relatively small, that's just shy of the 5 feet shy of the setback requirements, which is in the mock-up, it's kind of represented out in the yard, but it's actually almost to the shrubs to get the 20 feet setback, 20 and a half. And it's basically, he is not permitted by code technically to have anything as the tenant. And he leased the space assuming that he would have signage. And of course, that was his mistake, but we're hoping that with the setback, that intersection has the turn onto the side street and it has an entrance onto 87. But we've check that out carefully, and all cars can see well beyond the signs as they approach the stop line to the street. So we have found no hindrance to safety for traffic. And we've kept it as low and as small as possible to still give him just the visibility enough for people who are looking for him to identify where he's at and be able to find him.
James, this is Victor Caponera. I represent the board. And I'm a little confused, and I'll tell you why. I'm looking at a sealed, stamped plan signed by Donald Adams, licensed professional engineer. Do you have a copy of that Creighton Manning map that was submitted?
Unfortunately, I don't think I have that. The client did some of this, some of
Okay.
the handling of the paperwork on his own.
Let me tell you why I'm confused. There's an inconsistency. On this stamped professional engineer plan, he shows the sign as being 12 feet 6 inches from the curb line. And he shows the existing building as being 33 feet from the curb line. And on your fast signs paper document right here, you can see it. I presume this is your work, right?
Yes, yes. That's
You
what we-
show it as 20 feet from the curb line. So that's about an 8-foot difference between your document and what was supplied by a licensed engineer.
Well, that's interesting because the client seemed like he was rather on top of it. He visited us many times, and he never shared that engineering plan with us.
I would have to remind the board that you have to go by a professional stamped drawing, which this is. And while I respect what you're saying, James, if this is a stamped professional drawing representing it to be only 12 feet 6 inches from a curb line, and yours is, I mean, you didn't,
20.
did you survey this property and put this on here showing it to be 20 feet from the curb line?
Yes, yeah, I did personally.
So you're a professional surveyor then?
In the sign industry, yes.
Okay. Well, it's an inconsistency. Let me just say that.
Can I ask you what you said the building setback on the drawings was what exactly?
According to the Creighton Manning drawing,
Mhm.
it's 33 feet setback from the curb line.
Okay. So that would allow for the sign as we've specified it. It's just different than the engineers have specified it.
Well, I can tell you this, as I'm looking at this proposed sign, the way you've laid it out on this drawing,
Mhm.
there is no way that the way you've got it located, it's 20 feet, according to your thing. There's no way that's 20 feet setback from the curb line, because between where the sign ends and the building ends, that looks like it's at least, and I'm looking at this picture right here where you show the sign.
Yes. That is our graphic designer mocked this up, and they wanted it to look good for the client basically, and be able to see it. Technically, that sign should have been visually located further back. The first shrubs that you get to just border the approaching sidewalk to the entrance. It will be set back technically behind those two shrubs. There's only, in that area, there's only a row of shrubs in front of, right against the building. So it, on that perspective there, the sign would actually be located 20 feet back, and it would be above that first row of bushes that it comes to.
I get it. So you would agree
Mm-hmm.
with me that this is not a fair and accurate representation of what,
That's
where
true.
the sign would be located, wouldn't you?
Yes, that's
Okay.
true.
Okay, that's all I have. I just wanted the board to know that.
So Vic,
And-
it looks like the sign, we're going by what the engineer has is 12 feet point 6 from the curb line. Am I saying that?
According to what the engineer says, yes.
Yes. Okay,
I would like to change, I would like to get a copy of that and change, ask the engineer to just simply change the setback on that to match ours. And I don't feel there's a discrepancy between where the building is located and getting that setback that we're specifying. Visually, it doesn't really match on our renderings that closely, and I'm not sure why the engineer put it at a 12-foot setback. That was our client's doing, so I might have to just go back to him and ask him to revisit his engineer and adjust his drawings.
yeah, I would feel a little more at ease if we were all on the same page with this, we don't have two different views.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, he is entitled to a wall sign, correct?
Yes.
Directional sign.
All right. Has your client thought of a wall sign on Tanglewood?
As I understand it, the landlord wasn't allowing the rear tenants to put a sign on the building. He was leaving that for the tenants that have frontage on Central Ave. But he just may be making that decision on his own, and we may need to go back to the landlord and tell him that's more appropriate and ask him if because I'm assuming it's because the $99 sign would be technically on another tenant's frontage of the building. And I'm sure the tenants would not necessarily appreciate that,
Well,
but
where doesn't he have where exactly is his building? Where is his space? Is it on Tanglewood?
No,
it's behind the building, adjacent to Tanglewood and opposite Central Ave. It's the very back of the building.
Is the owner of the property on this call?
Yes, I'm
Mr.
here.
Newman.
Have you seen this application?
I didn't see the application. I spoke to the tenant and he told me that he's gonna apply for a sign. There's gonna be a hearing if I can make myself available. But what I just heard from the sign producer, that nobody ever discussed with me if the front is reserved for who. So I don't know where this is coming from. That's why I thought something controversial is gonna come up, so I decided I'm gonna log in.
Well, can I ask you a question again, sir?
Yeah.
Your building, your storefront is on Tanglewood Avenue, correct?
No, you talking to the owner?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the front is facing Central Avenue.
Okay. But so the owner, is it Newman?
Yes,
Newman?
and every tenant that is facing Central Avenue, they have permanent signs on top, on the pylons.
Okay. So would you even if this gentleman, your tenant, who's apparently got an entrance in the back of your building, you'd have to give authority for him to do this. Wouldn't that be correct?
If that's what's required, I have no reservations on that.
Okay. So you don't have any problem with this?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Just wanted, I wasn't sure which way you were going on this. That's all. So.
No, I support my tenants, especially at a time like this where all the businesses are burning. So
Yes.
I do anything I can to support my tenant.
Okay.
You said, I'm still a little confused. Where exactly is his spot, his rental portion on this?
Okay,
Where is his space? I'm looking at this drawing. I'm looking at this drawing that has the $1.99 income tax service, and it says 1500 Central or Central Avenue on the building. Where is it? Where is his office in relationship to that?
The office that he is occupying is the opposite side from just like the gentleman before, James explained. It's on the opposite side of the front. It's the back side of the building, and it's in the back, it's a 2-level building. So they're on the first level, on the ground level, in the back of the building.
Okay, on Tanglewood Road, okay?
Yeah, the entrance is from Tanglewood Road, yes.
Okay,
Jim,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Jim, if you look at the aerial view,
I'm looking at it, sir. Yep,
okay, you see that last car on the left?
yes,
See the trash receptacle that's to
yes.
the left? There's a driveway there.
I see that, okay.
All right, you see where the air conditioning unit is on the left? On the
Mhm.
That's about where the entrance is to the $99 income tax. Sir.
Okay. So theoretically, he could put a sign there, couldn't he?
You'd never see it.
It's not gonna be visible from the street.
Well, I'm not done with my statement, sir. He could theoretically put a sign there and put a directional sign in the front with an arrow to shoot the people back there. Right or wrong?
I don't know how that would look and if it would work. Directional sign, people are driving by, nobody even has just a glimpse at that directional sign. It couldn't have an opportunity to read what is in there.
Hey, Bill, this is
Yep.
Victor. I got to ask you a question.
Yep.
I'm very confused looking at this aerial. If you
Mhm.
look at the aerial and you look at the back of the building, I don't
Correct.
see any pavement. I don't see any sidewalk. Let me ask you a simple question. If I were to want to get into this guy's office, where would I enter? Off of Tanglewood?
No. The only entrance is directly behind the building. There's a small door with the name on it of $99
Okay.
tax.
Is there a walk back there on the back of the building?
Yes, and you can
Yeah,
drive.
it's a walkway there.
Where you drive through, it's covered by that roof, but you would come out and the next building, you would be behind that next building. You see the one that's above it? You've got 50.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the next building up, that roadway goes right behind that building and comes out to the next street. The next street that runs off Central
Yeah.
Ave.
What I'm looking at on the back of the building appears to be trees. So that's why I'm so. confused.
That's further left. The entrance to the building, you see that last car that's parked?
Yeah, yep,
You could see a partition, a stone partition
yep.
right next to it. That's the walkway that leads you to that doorway. Or you can drive through there and park behind the other building. In fact, I think there might even be a couple of parallel parking spots right there.
Right.
There are about 6 or 7 parallel parking
Right, okay.
under the roof.
When you say drive through the building, that's where you lose me.
It's an open space. It's just covered with a roof. You can't see where you're driving through there, but I'm telling you, under that roof, there's a roadway.
Oh, okay.
By the dumpster, Bill?
I drove there today because I was looking for his office.
I see. Yep.
Bill, is that,
Also-
if we look at the dumpster,
Yep.
is that an open area there, or is that,
Between where that last car is parked on the left and that dumpster, there's a driveway. And
okay,
as he said, there's several parallel parking spots under there.
and his office is
Here
right,
it comes. So they just put up a picture. You can see where you can drive.
okay,
If
Oh,
I could just
got it.
interject, this is the
That's-
Google Earth image, if you guys can see where you would
I
drive
see
in
it.
underneath.
Now I see. Yep.
I got it. So that right here, let me get my fingers. Right here, that's where his office is, where I'm pointing.
We can't see where you're pointing, Jim. Could you
see it
describe
now.
it?
You see where the car is?
Yep. You'd have
There's
to walk.
there's stairs going up. Is that his office?
No, you'd have to walk down between where that car is pulling out and where that dumpster is. You'd have to walk down behind the building.
It's on the back side of the building then?
Exactly. He has a sign on his door, but you can't see that unless you're standing right in front of that door.
All right, you see where that door is?
The one that's in the picture?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a different business.
Let me finish my question.
Okay,
There's a sign on the right of that door. Is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay. So if you were to put a sign to the left of that door with a direction, 99, whatever the name of this business is, with a directional, that would be a form of advertising. So listen, it's not the board's problem to solve somebody's situation that he has here. The board didn't tell this gentleman to lease a place in the back of the building, okay? The board has to look at each case individually on its own merits. The fact that the representation from the sign company gentleman says he thought that he was going to get a sign out in front, that has no relevance in law or anything relative to this application. Our job is not to solve somebody's problem who leases an office in the back of a building. Our job is to be consistent and to apply the law, as equally as we possibly can. So, that's now I understand. I have a better understanding of how this works. So apparently there appears to be offices on the second floor underneath this drive-through.
Victor, if I could throw this in, I don't know how the rest of the board feels. I think maybe they should come back with a better rendering of what they propose, so we can all have a. I'm with you, Victor. I can see what he's saying now of what they really need, because I don't think I agree. We're not here to engineer it.
A directional sign is the only thing I see that could.
That's all I see, to be honest with you, Billy. Let them come up with some kind of proposal for that and rethink what they want to do. That's my opinion. Dennis,
May I say something?
hang on a minute. Dennis,
Yeah, okay, here's
do you
my
think?
view. I don't like the idea of the directional out front, because that's going to really start setting off more signs up on Central Avenue.
All right, what else? What
think-
other idea do you have?
I would recommend it. They go back and take a look and talk to the owner of the building and his tenant, possibly where you go over that overhang, which is their second story, because he's in the basement or he's on the ground level.
Right.
You put a wall sign there.
Yeah, well, I think for us, I think what we should do is let them come back
Yeah.
with a redesign. Myself, I
I
think
think
that's
we
what
all
I
agree that the sign that they requested, we're not gonna do.
Yeah, we're definitely, we could take a vote on it to make it unanimous, or we could do a sunset, I believe that's what we call it. And they can come back again and you don't have to pay another fee, if I'm understanding it right.
No, we would just table it for another, we wouldn't
Okay.
sunset anything. Sunset is when you grant a variance, but it's for a limited time. We're not interested in that, I don't believe. I think
So
you're just
what's-
interested in allowing an adjournment if they want to come back with a new proposal. But it seems to me like, just listening to what the board is saying, the board is not interested in this kind of a freestanding sign in this location.
No.
Because I think it will set a dangerous precedent. If you look at the Village Plaza, all those shops, they only have wall signs. And I understand it's around the corner, and they'll have to come up with another means of addressing it, but I don't think we're here for that.
Can I ask? How would the board feel, general feedback about a wall mounted sign that faces Central Ave, like other tenants that are on the front of the building? If the landlord and the other tenants on the front are okay with someone else's, another tenant's sign going up on the building?
Well, that's something that you'd have to make a proposal.
Okay.
And put in front of us, because I wouldn't commit to anything until I saw
Yeah.
some kind of documentation on it. I'm sure the
Yeah,
rest
of
of the board
course.
feels that way.
Okay, I'm sure that would help him tremendously, just to have something that faces Central Ave, so.
I would come up with a couple of alternate plans, So I'm gonna make a motion that we table this.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passed. So let's table it and reschedule it. But this time, come back with a better set of drawings, please.
Sure, yeah,
With
I
accurate
apologize.
measurements and all that, so we have something, we don't have to guess at what we're doing here, numbers that work.
Of course.
You okay with that, James? Do you understand?
Yes, sure.
Okay,
Thank you.
James, what is your last name?
Pritchard.
Thank you, just for the record.
Sure.
Is that any other business?
no, I'm
I don't
good.
have anything further, Chairman.
All right.
I have one question.
Yes,
In the hearing that's in the newspaper, it said that the public is available to comment if they do so. And what if they don't have a computer or whatever? Do they contact you, Alex, to get the number to call in for Zoom or the telephone number?
So the way public hearings are currently operating under Governor Cuomo's executive orders, there's two different ones currently. The public notice said that they would have to email me any comments they have. They're not allowed to be on the Zoom call with us currently. They would have to review the materials that I would either send to them or that's on the website. They would review it and send in comments that I would read aloud into the record. The board would take in consideration. And then if the board acted, there's always that window of time that they have to submit further comment.
Yeah. I was just wondering if it was in the hearing notice to let them know about it, because I was just concerned that somebody might come down the road and complain that they didn't have any input.
No,
I don't
it
think
was-
we ever had that problem.
It was in the notice, yes, as well as the
Okay, good.
website and other publications.
All right, great.
okay. If we have no other business, I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Alex, for all your help with this. Did a good job.
You're welcome. Hope everyone has a good night.